All right, so welcome to the New Life spoiler discussion video. In all honesty, we actually recorded this all in one, and then we decided we should probably split this into two videos. So if this feels a little weird and disjointed when we go into the spoiler discussion, it's because it was supposed to just be an afterthought video, but I wanted to break them up just in case, because some people just leave these running while they're doing things, and then they come back and they're like, wait, those are spoilers.
Yeah.
So I think having two separate videos is smart, and that is something I want to do in the future.
Yes.
with our bigger movies that we cover.
Yeah.
With smaller movies, I don't really care. But with the bigger movies, I do want to have like a fun little spoiler discussion.
Yeah.
And then if they're really big and people want to hear like our full thoughts, we'll watch them again, take notes, and then like do a genuine like breakdown of everything.
Right. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So we can triple dip. We can get all that money.
We're doing a lot of dipping.
A lot of dipping. So here are our spoiler thoughts on this, with it being this body horror zombie type movie. Which, kind of, right? It's like a rage virus 28 days later, but nowhere as easily spread, where like one person's getting infected and they're going attacking 15 people, and then those 15 people attack 100 people, right? It doesn't spread like that at all.
Right.
It spreads more realistically because it's like thought to be an Ebola virus, and spreads through bodily fluids, which if you watch in the movie, she's always like, somebody shares a glass with her or eats off her plate, or, her boyfriend's kissing her or whatever. So, but the biggest issue, by far and away, that I just could not get over is this is something that has apocalyptic consequences if not contained. They're going to send one agent who they know has the beginning stages of ALS,
Yeah.
who has already fallen, hit her head, who is, tripped when she was trying to chase her. She and them. She even tries to say, like, I'm out.
Yes.
But does not push back on it enough to be like, the consequences for this getting out, if she gets to the border, which I don't even know why she needs to get to the border. She's in other towns. She could be spreading this just as easily. But whatever. They're just making that some arbitrary line. Like, if she gets there, it's over for the world. That's really mishandled as well, in my opinion. Like, she's running for it. Like, it makes any difference. She was just at a fucking bar, like, back in the other town. So that could spread. You don't know if you contained everybody.
Yeah.
Fucking 20 people could have come in. And in fact, they didn't even find out about that bar until... And they only got footage off of the camera that guy had. And who the hell all knows what was in there? I can pretty much guarantee you. She was touching drinks. She was washing glasses.
Yes.
She was taking shots with the girl in the back, who was then probably taking shots with other people because she's a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah.
Dude, there's no way they could possibly
been...
say they contained everybody for sure.
Right.
So that's asinine. This should have been like military level. Everyone's coming in. They're shutting down the borders.
Yes.
They're bringing in hazmat suits. It would be like Phantoms. It would be like every fucking movie I've ever watched where there's a contagion.
Yes.
And they bring in the National Guard and shut the fucking world down because they're like, this cannot get out. So for them to send like one agent who is not even able to fully function, and they're like, well, it's because you're on your way out. Then make her have, like you said, brain cancer.
Right.
Make her have something
that's
where she's like,
less,
it's an operable tumor that she's going to die from, and then, you have 3 months to live.
Right.
Something like that, but her body still functions correctly. Yeah. Maybe she passes out or something. I don't know, but to make it to where her, like, let's send fucking, Stephen Hawking's after, the patient zero. It's so stupid. Why would you pick her? Like, I get the rationale behind, like, I get it. The duo thing going on here of, like, someone carrying a disease and someone who's carrying another disease going after. Like, I get it, like, the poetic nature of the storytelling. But I'm supposed to believe they're putting the fate of the world a disease that could fucking kill everybody, that could bring a zombie plague onto the planet.
Yeah.
They're putting into the hands of a chick with ALS who can barely walk and can't even aim her gun and falls over when she goes to run and needs a cane to walk. Get the fuck out of here. There's no way. That's so irresponsible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. Nobody else wanted to send anybody else.
I know. Yeah. That's definitely the part of the film, obviously, that is the most frustrating and silly, unfortunately. And that might have been a budgetary issue, like they didn't have enough to but it feels like a writing problem. It just feels like it was written differently, than that, obviously. So, I don't know. I didn't like that. I liked that actress's performance and everything. And I think she handled that really well. And I think, in another story, the whole ALS thing that was going on with her was very heartbreaking. And I did like it, but it was just like that. Then when that was in context with the other story that was happening, that's where it became kind of annoying, because it's like, why would she be the one? Why would they not send even another, she wouldn't even have a partner that could, run? The guy knows that she doesn't have full mobility like she used to. It just feels very irresponsible.
Couple other things. One isn't really, unbelievable. It's just stupid. And so that's not really a complaint, but because we're talking spoilers. The fact that they just, grab her, throw her into a room, and feed her like a fucking animal, as opposed to, containing her, coming to the door and being like, you're infected,
right.
We're trying to run tests, I'm sorry this is happening to you. Nothing. They just treat her like an absolute animal.
Yeah.
And then it's like, she breaks out of the most unsecure quarantine area in the history of ever.
Yeah.
When they're talking about this like it's next level Ebola. And it's like they would have that place locked down with 50 guards, a fucking 10 helicopters, a tank. They would be like, there's no way we can let this out.
Yeah.
And for them not to tell her is so dumb. And it doesn't help them, obviously.
Again,
there's literally one inept guard that she takes down with a light bulb.
Right. And
that kind of stuff is so stupid to me.
Yeah, because, it is just kind of silly. Obviously, if somebody in that situation was told that they were, highly contagious, they still might not want to be contained, but, then that also gives another layer of her willingly and knowingly infecting people.
This would have been way more interesting.
Also makes it a way more interesting story. And it's because as it is now, you even said it, the only people that get hurt and killed are the people that are being kind to her, which is really sad and messed up. But then if she also knows that that's what's happening and is taking advantage of them and putting them in danger, purposefully or knowingly, rather, that's, a whole nother thing. So
see, what would have been actually pretty cool there, just off the top of my head with this, is, let's say the girl who's hunting her, because they leave it very vague in the beginning of, she was abused by her boyfriend and she killed him, or, and so that was the fun of, guessing what was going on. But I much would have rather seen her know that she's infected and kind of selfishly go out in the world because she's wanting to survive. She knows they're going to kill her and she's like, screw it, I don't care who I'm infecting. Along the way she has these morality moments where she encounters these really sweet people and she knows she's killing them, and kind of dealing with that. And being like, oh my God, I'm, maybe having moments of am I being selfish? And then kind of saying, fuck it, I don't care.
Right.
And then the duality of that, having the main girl who's hunting after her, maybe she finds out that she has, HIV. And she's with a partner who wants to have sex with her. And she's in the moment of I can't do this. I want it, but I can't do it. And like stopping them, like
Yeah.
I'm preventing you from getting sick.
Right.
Right. Like I'm taking away my own desires as much as I want to get laid right now. I can't put you at risk of getting sick. And then showing the two different sides of like selfishness with a disease.
Yeah.
Right. Those things would have been way more interesting. But also, I don't know. It also makes me feel like our main character here, because they don't do it that way, she feels dumb. Where I'm like, how do you not realize you're the one spreading the disease?
Yeah, it does also kind of come across that way a little
Your
bit,
boyfriend
too.
is so sick.
Right.
The people you get around are getting sick.
Yeah, but she doesn't really see
I
the
get
aftermath
that,
of
but
the
there's
sickness
no
until
way
the,
she doesn't
the last
realize
girl.
she's sick. She
Yeah.
found the the notches on her stomach.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend gets worse ones,
Also,
but she knows she's
obviously,
sick.
they, like, the person, like, when she's being held captive, they're in, like, a hazmat suit and everything as well.
Right.
So I do think, yeah, she would have some inkling of, like, maybe I'm infected.
She gets those people killed with just her brazen,
yeah.
like, lack of, being self-aware.
Yeah.
Like, come on, girl.
Yeah.
You know you're sick. She should be screaming at the door like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
I want answers. Give me answers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she should have been actively trying to keep away from people at the bare minimum. No, don't touch me. No, don't touch that.
Yeah.
Don't drink that. Don't
Yeah.
touch anything that I had. Or like she's like taking things with her when she leaves, like, or like, burning them or
Right.
whatever and being like, I might be sick. And that's why like I need
Yeah.
to stay away from people. And if people come around her, she's like, no, I'm not safe. Don't be around me. And then people are like pushing themselves on her, or maybe a dude rapes her or something, and she's like, no, you're gonna get sick. And it's like, well, then maybe he fucking deserves it. You know what I mean? There's so many better things to do. But the movie I was gonna compare this to is Contracted, which does do some of these things, right? Where this chick is sick and somebody like rapes her or something like that. I think that happens in phase 1 or phase 2. There's two parts to that series. They made a sequel called Phase 2. But I'm almost 99.9% sure she gets raped. If that's not that movie, it's a different movie that's like that, where somebody's sick and they rape them. No, not the movie Kids, where she has HIV and Casper rapes her. That's a different thing. I'm talking about like a plague, like something like that. But yeah, this stuff all makes no sense to me. All right, so that was the spoiler discussion. Yeah.
Yep. Let us know what you guys think. Do you agree with us? You disagree?
Yeah, I'm very curious on people's thoughts after they watch this. I can't imagine most people aren't going to have the same thoughts.
Yeah, I think so.
And some people just roll with it, which some movies I do that.
Yeah.
Some movies I'm just like, yeah, maybe I never even think about it. And I think that's like really good filmmaking.
Yeah.
Is when you're just kind of like, yeah, I never even noticed.
Right.
Now that you're pointing out, it's obvious, but I was just so in on it, I didn't care.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
When you have a film like that.
Well, it's like Steven Spielberg said when he was making Jaws, the person said, who was ever on the set, as far as I know the story to be, this is anecdotal, so take it with a grain of salt, but it was like sea salt, of course. They were like, oxygen tanks don't blow up when you shoot them. And he said something along the lines of like, I'll have the audience in my palm at that point, and they won't care.
Right.
And 100% true.
Yeah.
100% true. Like, I don't care if oxygen tanks blow up or not. I don't give a shit. That movie rules.
Yeah.
And that scene is so awesome that it's like, I'll suspend disbelief. Do I care? It's just a movie. Right?
Yeah.
But that's the difference. Some movies, I'm just like, it's just a movie. And then other movies, because I'm not being fully... I should say, it's just a great movie.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it's just a great movie.
It's just a great movie. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
That's how you defend movies. It's just a great movie.
Yeah.
Right? So I didn't care. As opposed to it's just a movie, it's like, no, that's like encompasses all film.
Right.
And it's like, that's not how I feel during all films.
No.
Right? There's plenty of films where I'm like, it's just a bad movie. Right? Or it's just a movie. And it's like, so it didn't pull me in enough.
Yeah.
To make me go, oh, I didn't even notice how stupid that was. Right? That's when you know you're watching a great movie, is when there's a few stupid things. Or you're just stupid. Or you're just stupid. And sometimes we are.
Sometimes
we just miss things.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times that's just because you're watching a great film and you're just so sucked in. You're so buying into everything that you don't notice these stupid little things. Yeah. And when people point them out, you're like, it doesn't matter. Just shut up. I don't even need to hear it. It's great. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling.
For sure.
I should say the best feeling is when there's no stupid shit and it's still awesome.
Yeah, that's obviously.
Then nobody could say anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But that is never going to happen in the history of cinema because there's always going to be the naysayer that's like, how come they just didn't take the Eagles to Mordor? Some fucking dumb shit like that. Read a book. How about that?
Because the movie would be over like that.
That is not the reason.
You gotta have a story process.
That is not the reason. I left. I did a whole long discussion about this. Not on the channel, but I wrote out. I was a total fucking nerd and was like, the reason that the Eagles don't take them, blah, blah, blah. And I went on this whole tangent. There is an actual reason. For sure. They couldn't have just taken the Eagles to Mordor. So anyway, look it up. Read a book. All right. Let us know.
Bye.
Bye.